It was sleek black and smarter than most people you knew. A car that talked, argued, and saved lives, a true 1980s superhero on wheels. But behind the smooth voice-flashing red scanner and futuristic attitude, KITT from Knight Rider was a total illusion. Because the truth is, television's most advanced car was mostly smoke mirrors and a lot of broken Firebirds. The self-driving wonder often being towed down the street by a hidden rig. That turbo-boosted leap into action usually ended with a crushed chassis and a trip straight to the scrapyard. And here's the kicker. Many of the cars that became KITT started life as wrecks, literally wrecked cars from a train crash. While audiences believed they were watching an indestructible machine, Universal Studios was busy rebuilding smashed-up Pontiacs just to keep the show running. It's this strange duality that makes KITT legendary, the world's most high-tech vehicle, born from chaos improvisation and $1 deals with Pontiac. A symbol of the future, built on junkyard scraps. A hero made from tragedy. And yet somehow, everything worked. That glowing red scanner, that calm synthetic voice, and that impossible sense of personality made KITT feel alive, even when there was a stunt driver hiding in the passenger seat. So today, we're diving under the hood of TV history to expose how one of the coolest cars ever built was also one of the strangest productions ever made. From wrecked trains and hidden drivers to uncredited voice actors and dollar Firebirds. Buckle up, because we're counting down 20 weird facts you didn't know about KITT the talking car that fooled an entire generation. Chapter 20, the train wreck that built KITT. In 1982, fate delivered one of the strangest gifts to Hollywood. A freight train carrying brand new Pontiac Firebirds and Camaros derailed, scattering twisted steel and shattered glass across the tracks. To most people, it was a disaster, a total loss. But to Universal Studios, it looked like opportunity. Pontiac couldn't sell the wrecked cars, so insurance companies wrote them off. That's when the Knight Rider team swooped in. They bought dozens of these damaged Firebirds for next to nothing and began rebuilding them as KITT. Panels were swapped, chassis straightened, paint reapplied, each wreck reborn as a hero car. It was poetic, really, the world's indestructible car, built from destruction itself. Without that train crash, the show might never have had enough cars to survive its first season. 19. Pontiac's $1 special. If you think the train wreck was luck, this was pure genius. Pontiac agreed to sell slightly damaged or imperfect Firebirds to Universal for $1 each. Yes, one single dollar. A tiny price for endless screen time. The deal was simple. Pontiac cleared out unsellable inventory, while Knight Rider got cheap donor cars. Every smash jump or fiery explosion cost just $1 in car value. It was Hollywood economics at its best, and it made the partnership legendary. 18. The KITT Graveyard. Over the show's run, around 25 KITTs were built, but only 5 survived. The rest were crushed, stripped, or cannibalized for parts. When filming wrapped each season, Universal had to destroy stunt cars for legal and safety reasons. They couldn't risk a fan buying one, crashing it, and suing, so most of KITT's brothers ended up in scrapyards, flattened beyond recognition. That's why today, an original screen-used KITT can fetch 6 figures. It's one of the rarest TV cars on Earth. Tharium 17, the Pennsylvania reunion. Decades later, 2 of those surviving cars reunited for the first time since the 1980s. At a Pennsylvania car show in 2025, fans saw both authentic screen-used KITTs parked side by side, one owned privately, the other from a touring exhibit. Small differences in the nose shape and dashboard design revealed their unique production histories. For fans who grew up idolizing that glowing red scanner, it was like meeting 2 living legends. For one weekend time, travel felt real. 16. The hidden driver trick. KITT could drive itself. Or so it seemed. In truth, every autonomous scene relied on an invisible stunt driver squeezed into the passenger seat. These were right-hand drive conversions built specifically so the driver could steer while staying out of the camera's view. Imagine controlling a car at high speed crouched low, barely able to see the road. It was a dangerous claustrophobic job, and the unsung stunt crew made it look effortless. Their work turned a regular Pontiac into television's first believable self-driving car, long before Tesla or AI were ever real concepts. That's how the legend of KITT began, born from wreckage saved by $1 deals and driven by invisible heroes. Each secret revealed that this supercar was less science fiction and more Hollywood ingenuity. But the deeper you look, the weirder it gets. Because next, we're diving into the mechanical illusions design controversies and pure movie magic that made KITT famous and flawed. By the mid-80s, Knight Rider had perfected its illusion. The car looked alive, its voice calm and intelligent, its movements impossibly smooth. But behind every moment of magic, there was a small army of engineers, prop builders, and camera crews pulling strings, or in KITT's case, hiding stunt drivers. 15. The mirror trick. When audiences saw KITT gliding silently through desert highways with no driver inside, they believed it was real. But it wasn't robotics. It was reflection. The crew often used a two-way mirror positioned so precisely that it hid the stunt driver while bouncing back the image of the opposite side of the car. From the camera's view, the driver's seat looked empty, just smooth black interior. But one wrong angle, one glare, and the illusion shattered. This trick became a lifesaver for the production team. No costly conversions, no complicated setups, just smart positioning and sunlight. Sometimes the simplest movie magic is also the most convincing. 14. The voice behind the wheel. Of course, a car is only as alive as the voice it speaks with. For KITT, that voice came from William Daniels, a classically trained actor who never once appeared on set. He recorded every line weeks later in a sound booth, never even meeting David Hasselhoff until a Christmas party after the first season, and he didn't want credit. Daniels feared being typecast as the talking car guy, so his name was left out of the show's titles. Yet his tone, that mix of authority, patience, and quiet humor, became unforgettable. It's ironic the one person who refused recognition gave KITT the personality everyone remembers. Giant 13. The Cylon Connection. If the voice made KITT human, the glowing scanner made him alive. That sweeping red light wasn't new. Producer Glenn A. Larson borrowed it from his earlier show, Battlestar Galactica. The robotic Cylons had the same oscillating glow, cold and menacing. Larson simply reused the idea, turning menace into warmth. That rhythmic pulse became KITT's heartbeat, his eyes, his soul. Viewers didn't care that it was recycled tech. They felt something every time that red light swept side to side. It was the simplest electronic effect ever, yet it carried more emotion than most CGI cars today. Factor 12. The changing voice box. And speaking of changes, did you ever notice KITT's voice modulator didn't stay the same? In early episodes, it was a single blinking square. Later, it became 3 vertical bars that danced as he spoke. No upgrade scene, no explanation, just different. The reason was purely visual. The single square looked static on camera, while the triple bars gave movement and energy during dialogue shots. Continuity didn't matter in the pre-HD era. There were no forums to debate it, no Reddit detectives comparing screenshots. KITT evolved quietly, episode by episode, and no one questioned it. That's the charm of 1980s TV. The magic was stronger than logic. Vert 11. The flying license plate. But sometimes the illusion failed spectacularly and hilariously. During KITT's very first turbo boost jump in the pilot, his famous night license plate shook loose and flew straight off midair, spinning like a frisbee across the screen. The shot was too expensive to redo, so producers left it in. Next scene, the plate's back, as if nothing happened. No explanation, no fix, just pure 1980s confidence. Fans later turned that blooper into legend, the perfect car that literally lost its identity. It made KITT more human, even he had flaws, From hidden drivers to recycled lights and uncredited voices, KITT was never one perfect machine. He was a patchwork of quick fixes, reused parts, and creative illusions. Proof that movie magic is often born from desperation. Every trick, every oversight, every happy accident added another layer to his myth. And somehow, those imperfections made him timeless. Because if KITT could become a legend while being built from smoke mirrors and duct tape, maybe perfection was never the point. Maybe the real magic was how real he felt. By the time Knight Rider hit its stride, KITT had already become a pop culture icon. Every kid wanted that black Trans Am with a glowing red light on the hood. But what most fans didn't know was that behind the fame's strange rivalries, myths, and design controversies were brewing the kind of behind-the-scenes drama that could have fueled its own TV episode. Tragedy 10, the Baris Myth. Ask any casual fan who designed KITT and most will say George Baris, the man behind the 1966 Batmobile. For years, he took credit signing autographs and even selling official KITT replicas. But the truth is more complicated. The real design came from Michael Sheffey, a talented young automotive artist who gave KITT his sleek nose and futuristic dashboard. Sheffey shaped the car's identity. Baris just built a few later season stunt versions when the show's needs grew. But Baris had what Sheff didn't, a PR machine. He knew how to own the narrative. So while Baris toured car shows as the creator of KITT, Sheff's name faded into the shadows. In Hollywood, credit often belongs to whoever shouts loudest. Still among insiders, the truth is clear. The car's soul came from Sheffey's drawing board, not Baris's workshop. Zarek, for 9, the Lowrider Hero. KITT's main hero car, the one used for close-ups and beauty shots, had a secret stance. It sat about 1.5 inches lower than a stock Trans Am. That subtle drop gave the car its predatory look, ready to pounce at any moment. The suspension was reworked carefully to avoid scraping while maintaining stability for filming. Too low, and it would bottom out. Too high, and it lost that sleek attitude. Only the hero car got this special treatment. The stunt cars were higher for jumps and rough driving, while the jump cars were practically disposable. The hero car wasn't meant to fly, it was meant to look perfect. That's why every shot of KITT gliding through the night feels so cinematic. It wasn't speed, it was stance. Ver 8, the 6-cylinder secret. When the series introduced the convertible KITT in Season 4, fans assumed it was another high-powered Trans Am. In reality, the donor car was a basic V6 Firebird, the cheapest version Pontiac sold. Budgets were tight, and the team needed something they could strip down and rebuild quickly. The engine barely mattered. The sound was dubbed later. The performance was an illusion. By the time they finished adding the body kit, interior electronics, and scanner, no one could tell the difference. Still, it's a funny irony. The most advanced car on television began life as the least impressive Firebird in the lineup. In Hollywood, perception beats horsepower every time. Number 7, the real ski mode. Nothing symbolized KITT's abilities like driving on 2 wheels, but that wasn't a trick shot or camera effect. It was real stunt driving. Professional drivers tilted the car onto its side using ramps and maintained balance through throttle control and split-second steering. There were no wires, no CGI, just pure skill. The move called ski mode became KITT's signature, performed so often that the stunt crew almost dreaded it. It looked effortless on screen, but each attempt risked flipping the car entirely. Paramedics waited off camera and spare cars stood by in case one rolled. Every time KITT slid past the camera on 2 wheels, someone's heart rate doubled and someone's Firebird probably died. For 6, the Car Caste System. On paper, there was one KITT. In reality, there were many, each with a different destiny. The production classified them into a strict hierarchy: hero cars, stunt cars, jump cars, and shells. The hero cars were pampered, perfect paint, working electronics, complete interiors. They were used for dialogue scenes, close-ups, and glamour shots with Hasselhoff. Stunt cars handled chase sequences and tight turns, built with reinforced frames and roll cages. Jump cars. They lived fast and died young, built to fly once and crash spectacularly. Then came the shells. Partial builds used for background angles. Sometimes just a front end mounted on a trailer. Each kit had a job, a lifespan, and a purpose. By the end of each season, most of them were gone. Hollywood's most invincible car existed only because there were always more waiting behind the camera ready to take the next hit. KITT wasn't one car. He was a fleet of sacrifices, a machine made immortal by dozens of temporary bodies. And while fans imagined a single indestructible hero, the truth was far more poetic and brutal. Because behind every perfect jump and glowing scanner lay a quiet graveyard of Firebirds, each one giving its life so that television's favorite car could keep rolling. By the time filming reached its later seasons, KITT had gone beyond television. He wasn't just a car anymore. He was a cultural event, a piece of the 1980s that refused to stay parked. But the road to immortality came with a few strange turns that blurred the line between fiction and reality. Per 5, the crushing agreement. Every jump crash and explosion left piles of wrecked Firebirds behind. But Pontiac's insurance contracts were clear. Every car supplied for filming had to be destroyed afterward. No exceptions. It was a legal move to prevent liability. No fan could buy a used stunt car, rebuild it, and get hurt. So when the camera stopped rolling, the crusher started. Technicians who had spent months restoring cars watched them be flattened into cubes of steel. It was heartbreaking, but that destruction fueled something unexpected: scarcity. The fewer real kits that survived, the more fans wanted one. Collectors started building replicas, turning the car's loss into a global obsession that still thrives today. For 4, the Toad truth. KITT's self-driving scenes looked futuristic, but many were filmed with the car being quietly towed by a hidden rig. It was safer for the actors, easier for the crew, and allowed perfect camera angles. David Hasselhoff could focus on acting while the vehicle glided behind a camera truck. Look closely at those smooth highway scenes. The wheels barely turn the motion too even. That's because KITT wasn't driving at all. Ironically, television's smartest car was more often than not a passenger. It's a reminder that Hollywood's magic depends as much on clever towing bars as on storytelling. Number 3, KITT's hidden talents. Under that glowing dashboard lived a collection of gadgets that made no sense, and that's exactly why fans love them. A built-in cash dispenser, an instant printer, even arcade-style games for downtime between missions. Most of these functions appeared once and were never mentioned again. They weren't planned. They were props added to fill screen space when writers needed a quick laugh or a miracle fix. If a script demanded KITT to analyze food samples or brew coffee, the prop team simply invented a button for it. Continuity was optional, imagination was infinite, and somehow that chaos gave the car personality. He wasn't a perfect machine. He was playful, unpredictable, and strangely human. From 2, The Survivor's Tale. When the series ended, nearly all screen-used KITTs were gone. But one right-hand drive blind drive car, the one that allowed hidden stunt drivers to steer invisibly, survived. It escaped the crusher and eventually landed in a small automotive museum. Visitors can still see the relocated pedals, the hidden mirrors, and the cramped seat where stuntmen once crouched. It's not just a relic, it's a time capsule of 1980s ingenuity. That single car represents every destroyed Firebird, every sleepless night of fabrication, every moment when television pretended to invent the future. Standing before it feels like meeting an old friend who somehow outlived his entire generation. From lawsuits and towing rigs to one surviving hero, KITT's story is a mix of tragedy and triumph, a reminder that even legends are built on compromise. But the greatest revelation was yet to come, the fact that changed how television shot car chases forever. Number 1, the two-wheel revolution. It was meant to be a flashy stunt, something to make the audience gasp. But no one on set realized that a single accident during rehearsal would create one of the most iconic images in television history. During an early shoot, a stunt driver took a corner too fast. The Firebird tilted sharply, its right side tires lifting off the ground. Instead of slamming the brakes, the driver held steady, balancing the car on two wheels like a circus performer. For a few heart-stopping seconds, the impossible became real. Producers stared silent, then broke into applause. That unplanned moment became KITT's trademark move, the ski mode. From that day on, every season demanded it KITT gliding sideways, defying gravity scanner flashing like a pulse of red fire. What began as a near crash turned into a defining symbol of precision courage and sheer television audacity. It changed everything about how car chases were filmed. Before Knight Rider two-wheel driving was a rare stunt reserved for fairs and live shows. After KITT, it became a must-have in every action production. But ski mode wasn't just a cool visual. It captured the spirit of the show, pushing boundaries, taking risks, and turning flaws into triumphs. Every time KITT rose onto two wheels, it reminded viewers that even in the mechanical world, grace could exist beside danger. Decades later, that stunt is still taught in Hollywood stunt schools. No CGI, no wires, just physics, timing, and fearless drivers. And 40 years on, no matter how many cars have flown flipped or drifted across movie screens, nothing feels quite like that moment when KITT balances against gravity scanner sweeping engine, roaring half machine, half miracle. That was KITT's final gift proof that sometimes the best things in life come from mistakes that refuse to crash. From a train wreck full of broken Firebirds to a two-wheeled revolution that redefined an era, KITT's story wasn't about perfection. It was about reinvention, the art of turning wreckage into wonder. A talking car born from chaos, brought to life by mirrors, hidden drivers, and a voice that never met its co-star. He wasn't just a machine. He was a dream given wheels. When you strip away the nostalgia and special effects, KITT's legacy isn't really about horsepower or technology. It's about imagination. A group of creators, engineers, and stunt drivers took wrecked cars, tight budgets, and borrowed ideas and somehow built something timeless. That black Trans Am with the red scanner wasn't a real AI, but it made people believe in one. It made a generation dream about cars that could think, protect, and even care. In truth, KITT was always two stories at once, the fiction on screen and the ingenuity behind it. One was sleek, fearless, and indestructible. The other was messy, dangerous, and human. Together, they created magic, the kind of television that still sparks wonder decades later. Every broken Firebird, every mirror trick, every hidden stuntman added to that illusion until the audience saw not a car, but a companion. Even now, fans still build replicas, museums still display surviving props, and that rhythmic red light still hypnotizes anyone who sees it. KITT outlived his own show because he stood for something simple: hope through reinvention. A reminder that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep driving forward. So the next time you hear that pulsing scanner sound, imagine the chaos behind it, the crews, the crashes, the stunts, the voice that refused credit. Because that's the real magic of Knight Rider turning a pile of scrap metal and ambition into one of the most unforgettable icons in television history. And somewhere under museum lights, or deep in a collector's garage, that familiar red glow still sweeps left to right, as if KITT himself is scanning the horizon, waiting for the next mission.